Having new shooters begin with optics provides huge advantages. By using a sight system that keeps the aiming reference and the target in the same plane and eliminating the need to keep three separate objects, the rear sight, front sight, and target, in alignment, and then needing to focus on the front sight while letting the target go blurry, that makes things more challenging for a new shooter that's also struggling to learn other aspects of marksmanship. If iron sights are needed to be used, they should be introduced much later. Because if we let new shooters always begin with optics exclusively, they're going to always be better shooters for it. Now, what evidence do I have to support that position? Well, I have exactly the same amount of evidence for that as the iron sight advocates have for why we have to start with iron sights first. The majority of my shooting experience, both competitively and in the military, was done with iron sights. I am in no way opposed to training with and learning how to use them. I am opposed to false ideas that somehow that magically makes someone better when there's absolutely no evidence to support it. For individual gun owners, good reasons to use or start with iron sights. You just like them. Another good reason might be affordability. It might be possible to start with an iron sight rifle and have that be cheaper than an optically sighted option. Similarly, it might be less expensive to start a competitive shooting program with an iron sight option. Depending on the discipline and depending on your preferences, that might just simply be a less expensive or easier way to go. Cross-training is known to have real benefits. For example, in his book, Dave Tubb discussed the benefits he experienced as a high-power shooter from shooting things like metallic silhouette and small bore and practicing with his air rifle, even though high power with iron sights was his primary discipline. Brian Enos discussed similar things in his book, the differences between shooting iron sights for different speed, practical, or action shooting versus using an optical sight for things like Bianchi Cup. In an institutional setting such as law enforcement or military, iron sights may still well be the best choice. I know of one example, a law enforcement department decided that it was best for their patrol rifles to remain iron sights. In fact, they stuck with the A1 style just to prevent officers from fiddling with the adjustments when they were bored on patrol. There are a number of good reasons why a shooter or an institution might choose to continue to use iron sights. And if that is the choice, great. Make that primary and train with it. The mistake, though, is deciding that, no, we're going to go with optics as our primary, but we're going to have everyone use iron sights first because, well, our feelings say so. That's a mistake. Most personnel in an institutional environment are already going to be lower skilled shooters. You're already taking a limited training experience and now you're diluting it by having personnel learn a different set of sights that isn't what we're intending them to use in the first place. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.